Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to another edition of the Cornell Table. As I suggest often, a whole lot of videos and tips on careers and lives. So please stay subscribed to the channel. Today we're going to talk of an interesting topic about a notice period and how to work on a notice period time. Just to clarify or bring a perspective, notice period itself is a very uniquely Indian concept. I'm not sure if many of you are aware, the American continent and Europe largely doesn't have a concept of notice period in HR. Looks like notice period is probably the invention of the innovative HR fraternity in India maybe many decades back. That said, it is very important for anybody who's resigned from a role from a present employer to serve the notice period in a very honorable way and exit in a very honorable way. I do see a lot of videos here on YouTube which say that how not to work in a notice period, how to avoid work in a notice period. My sincere advice to all those people who get carried away by such videos is the corporate landscape is extremely dynamic today, and the HR fraternity and even the line managers are all very well networked. So the moment you throw up what you call as attitude on the notice period and don't really discharge your responsibilities which are expected by the present organization, for sure, a bad word of mouth is going to spread about you as a candidate or a potential employee to any future employer. So keep that in mind. Don't go by people who advise you that it is not very important to behave well in the notice period or work in an honorable way in a notice period and exit from the current organization. Not behaving properly, not keeping up your work commitments, and not handing over the job responsibilities as expected by the present functional head or human resources department and the organization at large are all very severe red flags from a long-term career perspective. So bear that in mind when you get carried away where people say that hey, you've resigned, so you just have to chill out and not really do much of work in a present organization. Keep it in mind, the HR fraternity is more networked than ever before. HR heads are just a call away, and functional heads are mostly people known to each other on a very professional and personal relationship terms. So if you decide to burn bridges in the notice period and really cause trouble and behave in a manner which is not inappropriate, word is going to spread around in the corporate world that now you're someone who's not dependable as an employee and somebody who really doesn't behave properly until the last day of employment. Remember, it is extremely important to behave in a very professional manner in a notice period time. If the organization or your present boss decides to take away work from you and says explicitly or puts it on writing that you really did not worry about anything and just have to relax for the time the HR is going to tell which is your last date, unless otherwise that is a real situation, you make sure that you're extremely sincere and you work as much as possible like you normally did until you served in your resignation. So bear this in mind. This is the best advice any HR professional or a career professional can give you. Any sane career consultant would for sure tell you that serving a notice period in a very honorable way and serving the present employer until the last day as agreed upon mutually if you are relieving from the present organization is very important. Some of the important points which you need to notice: make sure you document everything as much as possible, and when you hand it over, put everything in writing. Make sure that you whatever is pending from your end in terms of client statuses, in terms of business or revenue projections, put that all in writing and hand it over to your boss. And in case your boss is also not around and it happens that you are resigning without a functional head, you should make sure that you copy your HR point of contact and communicate everything which is required for continuance as far as your role is concerned. Remember, if you come and take over in a particular role and you have absolutely no clue of information about the market or the clients from whom payments are pending, you'll for sure think that the earlier person was very unprofessional. So if you get into that shoe, for sure you will also make sure that you carry out your responsibilities in a very proper way, hand over in a proper way, document everything, document every minute detail as called for your present role. If you're in sales, sales, things like revenue projections, things like about clients to whom you have already pitched, sent a mail, which are the clients that are going to be in a position which are going to close and bring in more business, which are the bad clients, which are clients where receivables are at stake. So things like that. Particularly if you are, for example, if you are a recruiter, what are the open positions and what are the candidates you already lined up for open positions, what are the pending issues as far as recruitment is concerned. So a whole lot of things like that. Thankfully, all work is automated today. For sales, you have sales related softwares like that. For recruitment, you have recruitment softwares, enterprise softwares where all these operations and functional area softwares run. So in that situation, it's going to be extremely easy for you to leave all the information which is relevant. Don't keep people guessing in terms of what you've done, and make sure that you exit in a very, very honorable way. This besides, a very, very important thing is sometimes when you make up your mind to resign from a particular role, you kind of start acting under pressure, and you think that you want to exit in a very, very on a very, very high note. So some people in sales or marketing, for example, try and give a wrong projection to the present employer about some prospective business. While it may not be reality on the ground, they'll project some business which is not going to happen. People do this primarily not with any wrong intention, but they feel that they should leave on a high note, or leave on a very, very positive note for the organization. But subsequently, when somebody takes over and goes through this rigorous cycle again, they realize that this information is not very, very right. You've given a lot of wrong projections, you've given wrong revenue projections, you promised clients which are not going to happen. This is going to kind of very, very reflect very badly on you as a person in terms of character. You remember, while you're doing it in a very, very light note, it is something which is going to reflect on your integrity, and integrity is sacrosanct. If integrity, even in the last stages of your employment, is going to be doubted, the word will spread around across in the industry, and for sure your reputation is going to take a huge hit. So keep all these things in mind. Don't take the notice period very lightly unless otherwise explicitly stated by the present employer. And remember, 3 months or 6 months into the new job, the new functional head is probably going to a very, very casual chat with the present boss, and they're going to share a lot of notes about what is happening between and how the employees are there and things like that. At that point in time, your present boss or the new boss is going to ask your old boss about how you performed well and things like that. So even if there is one word or a one sore note in terms of your behavior in the notice period, it is going to reflect very, very badly on you as a professional. So to maintain your professional decorum, to maintain your professional integrity, and to maintain your professional imagery in the long run, it is extremely important to be sure that you exit in a very, very honorable way. Bear all this in mind. Don't take the notice period very lightly. Give in to whatever is asked for. Share all information as to what asked for. If you're asked to hand over information to any other employee or any teammate, you hand it over to them with a copy to your boss. Record everything in emails, record everything in writing, and make sure that you leave without any blemish, not just alone at that point in time, but to ensure that you don't have any blemish in the long-term career. Keep this in mind. I repeat again and again, notice period is not to be taken very lightly. If somebody is telling you that notice period is just to have fun, they are misleading you, and not that they are in fact belittling your professional stature and trying to damage your career in the long run. Remember all this. Yes, notice period, as I said, is very, very unique to the Indian context. Someone in the HR fraternity in India innovatively thought and probably wanted a notice period so that they can hold the person for long, so that all these responsibilities can be extracted out of the person. Irrespective of whatever is the genesis of this notice period, it is important, at least in the Indian context, to make sure that you serve the notice period in a very, very honorable way and exit on the day of relieving as agreed upon. I wish you all the very best in your career. I'll come back to you with a new topic, a different topic. I'm sure you found this useful. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.